On the news tonight, banks burnt as naira scarcity protest rocks in Ogun State. President Muhammadu Buhari vows to end hardship faced by Nigerians over currency swap. And court bars INEC from engaging MC Oluomo in election materials distribution. Many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Protests has again erupted in Ogun State with over the naira scarcity, with videos online showing two commercial banks set on fire in the Shagamu area of Ogun State on Monday morning. In the viral video, the irate youth set ablaze Union Bank and Keystone Bank. The protest attributed to the naira scarcity had begun in front of the palace of the Akarigbo of Remo land, Obababatunde Ajayi, with some youths barricading roads and setting bonfire. Recall that last week Friday, protesters barricaded the Mowe Bafo area of Ogun State over naira scarcity. The protest has now shifted to Shagamu, where angry youths have caused unrest and thrown the town into chaos. President Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to Nigerians for more patience on the implementation of the redesigned naira policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria. In a video on Sunday, the president assured that his administration would take appropriate measures to ease the hardship caused by the policy. The president's appeal comes amid chaos that has erupted in some parts of the country, following the president's announcement on Thursday that only the old 200 naira notes will remain legal tender until April 10. All owed 500 and 1,000 naira notes, according to President Buhari, must be returned to deposits banks before February 17, 2023. The adjusted deadline he had approved in Daura in the state on January 30. Buhari's announcement came despite a pending Supreme Court order restraining the federal government from effecting the deadline.
I am calling on specifically our traditional rulers, religious leaders, and parents to warn their followers and wards alike to not allow themselves to be used by a few to foment trouble. I want to assure you that the government has taken adequate security measures to allow everyone to come out and cast their votes. I am therefore appealing to everyone to give them the necessary support. Finally, I want to once again assure you that I am fully aware of the current hardship you are facing as a result of some policies of the government which are meant to bring overall improvement to the country. I am appealing to you to exercise further patience as we take appropriate measures to ease these hardships. God willing, there will be light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, experts say the fiscal and monetary policy put in place by the government will not stop vote buying. Rather, it will open more opportunities for it to thrive and not the other way around. Ezenwa Nwago, the board member, Yaga Africa, during a TV360 flagship program, TV360, made this known. Speaking further on the policy, Nwago added that the job of curbing electoral malpractice is a job of security agencies and not through fiscal policy. He further added that the redesigned naira policy may not solve the issue of vote buying in the upcoming general election.
The argument is that the redesigning, part of one hidden outcome will be that it would stop electoral corruption, or it will minimize electoral corruption. That is far from the truth. The work of maintaining law and order in the election is in the remit of the security agencies and not in fiscal policies and monetary policies. What will then happen is that with the scarcity that you have created an enabling condition for those who ordinarily will have had the capacity to resist being induced to now go for it and even make a demand. That's the condition you have created. And if those who should know are pretending that they don't know, then imagine that in states like Ekiti and Osun that we just came out from, we were getting reports about 7,000 naira, 5,000 naira for votes, paid for votes. Now, in this situation, all you need to do is to dangle a brand new 2,000 naira note. I can't fathom why people can't see that. So the responsibility will be on the security agencies. INEC will deploy its men and materials, but the challenge of vote buying and vote trading will be a big issue for the 2023 general election.
The Federal High Court in Lagos has barred the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from engaging the services of Musili Akinsonya, popularly known as MC Olumomo, chairman of the Lagos Parks and Garages, for the distribution of election materials and ad hoc staff in the state. The injunction was granted by Justice Chukwuejekwu Enike following an application filed by the Labour Party and its gubernatorial candidates in Lagos State, Gbadebo Rhodes Vivo. While INEC was absent at the proceedings, a lawyer for the Labour Party told the court that the commission was served with the court papers. Over the past few days, there has been controversy over the decision of the INEC to work with the Lagos State Parks Management Committee to distribute election materials. The Lagos State Parks Management is headed by MC Oluomo. Well, to speak more on this, political analyst Charles Ideho joins me now. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, INEC, in its defense, has said working with the Lagos State Parks Management is critical in meeting up with the high volume of logistics needed for the election. Do you agree with INEC?
Okay, well, thank you. It's critical, yes, but is it expedient? I think the question is not about whether it's being critical. The question is whether it's expedient. Because when you look at MC Oluomo, he's closer to one of the presidential candidates, Tinubu. It might be seen as if you are using the services of a vested party. That's a party with a vested interest. Okay, this time around you have MC Oluomo, who is very close. When I mean very close, they're like Siamese twins in a manner of speaking. Very close to one of the presidential candidates. He's been seen with him in Ekiti. He's been seen with him in everywhere he's gone to. And when you also walk around Lagos, you see vehicles that are branded, having MC Oluomo's photograph with that of APC presidential candidate, APC gubernatorial candidate, and all that. So when you look at it, using the services of Parks and Garages Limited in Lagos or whatever.
We seem to have lost Charles Ideho there, but hopefully we get back to him to discuss more on the relationship with MC Oluomo and the Lagos State government. But definitely, I will hope to connect back to him. Moving on to other stories, the Commonwealth Observer Group has described Nigeria's upcoming elections as Africa's largest democratic process with a significant outcome for the continent. The chairperson of the group and former president of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki, made this known at a press conference in Abuja following the arrival of Commonwealth observers in Nigeria. According to Mbeki, the Commonwealth Observer Group, on its 7th election observation mission in Nigeria, aims to strengthen the democratic culture, processes, and institutions in Nigeria.
As all of us know, I don't need to say this, Nigeria is Africa's largest democracy and a very valued member of the Commonwealth. And the Commonwealth has a long tradition of supporting the country's democratic development through election observation. And this will be the seventh time a Commonwealth Observer Group will be observing elections in Nigeria since 1999. And throughout, we'll consider all factors relating to the credibility of the electoral process. We'll assess whether the elections are conducted according to the standards of democratic elections to which Nigeria has committed itself, including the constitutional framework and national legislation, as well as Commonwealth and other international commitments. As we undertake this assessment and conduct our duties, we will be objective, independent, and impartial. And this month's elections will be Africa's largest democratic exercise. It is clear that the outcomes of the elections will be significant not only for Nigeria, but also for the entire continent. And therefore, we urge all stakeholders in Nigeria to uphold their commitment to ensure a peaceful and inclusive election in which people of Nigeria are able to freely exercise their right to vote, with the fundamental freedoms of expression, of association, of assembly fully respected.
There will be observer groups in those areas where we are not going to be. They are not, I do not think there's any particular area that we've carved out and said we're not going to go there. Of course, there are considerations, logistics and otherwise, but we have enough observers in country to cover this election across all the 36 states.
Now to politics. The African Democratic Congress has endorsed the Labour Party presidential candidates Peter Obi and his running mate Dati Baba Ahmed for the February 25 presidential election. According to the post on the official Twitter handle of the party, the endorsement follows the formation of a coalition which aims to propel the duo to the highest office in the land. The endorsement was held at the River Plate Gardens in Abuja on Monday morning. The coalition, which is made up of several Star Alliance partners such as Nigeria Mothers for Good Governance, Fulani United and League of Imams, among others, said they seek to create a formidable force for the Obi-Dati ticket. The Obedient Movement, an umbrella name for the supporters of Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, has come out en masse across the 774 local government areas of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory FCT to show their resolve to create a new Nigeria that works for everyone. The head of strategy and operations of Obedient Global March, Marcel Ngogehe, said in the next 6 days the march is going to create more awareness for Peter Obi. He explained that the march would also discourage Nigerians from selling their votes. On her part, the head of support groups, Nina Atalo, encouraged women to endure the hardship faced as a result of the new currency policy in the country. She said the policy would reduce vote buying and insecurity, factors which has hampered socio-economic development in the country.
Today, we are deploying what we call the last approach, which is value optimization. We have positioned him, we have raised resources to bring him up to this stage. Now we need to do what we call the last lap. The last lap means in the next 6 days, the Obedient Movement is going to press a march on every grain of sound in this country. We're going to go to every local government, we're going to go to every ward, we're going to go to every polling unit. We're going to take the message down there, and we're going to tell Nigerians that they should know that this country belongs to them.
Let's start with your gender.
Yes.
You know, what is the rate of mobilization for women and girls? Because people say the youth population is quite high.
Yes.
So what have you done strategically?
First and foremost, I can categorically say that the female gender is well represented. In fact, most of our what we call it regional coordinators, state coordinators are females, and they are well positioned and they have proved themselves. This is our time. Is when we say youth, not just youth. This is the female. This is the time for our female gender. And our candidate, our principal, has categorically said times without number that he is very, very interested in our agenda, in positioning us, in pushing us further. In fact, he believes in our strength. He believes in what we bring to the table.
The Solar area in Lagos State on Saturday witnessed a large turnout of Nollywood actors under the aegis of Connecting Grassroots Initiative, CGI, as they embarked on door-to-door campaign for the APC presidential flag bearer Bola Tinubu and the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, as well as other candidates of the party. Present at the sensitization was the head Lagos State Parks Management, Musuli Akisanya, who charged electorates in the area to ensure their votes count at the poll come February 25. The group was received by chairman of the Solo Local Council Development Area, Olasoju Adebayo, who described the APC presidential candidate as the only candidate that can revive Nigeria.
Vote Emas for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You know, it's been tested in Lagos and it can be trusted. I assure you, a vote for Asiwaju is a vote for progress, it's a vote for security, stability, it's a vote to improve our education sector, It's a vote to improve the agricultural sector. It's a vote for the economic boost and growth. I assure you, Ashwaju will never disappoint us.
My people in Nigeria, yes, Tinubu is a man of people, a man of integrity, a man of honor. Go and vote for Tinubu. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the 25th of February. Come out and support Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu under APC.
Use your PVC and vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we elect Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Hamzat again for their good job.
The Human and Environmental Development Agenda has urged Nigerians not to allow politicians use the current economic and security challenges in the country to shift their attention from high-profile cases left unattended to. This call was made during a media header interactive session and public presentation of its latest research work titled Impunity Galore, a chronicle of some high-profile unresolved corruption cases in Nigeria. Speaking at the event, the chairman, Human and Environmental Development Agenda, Header Resource Center, Olariwaju Suraju, challenged the media to hold politicians accountable to the citizens as the February 25 elections approaches and to ensure a violence-free atmosphere before, during, and after the forthcoming general elections.
None of the institutions in Nigeria are immune to citizens also demand for accountability or any other thing. And we should make it clear that no public office holder is above the law. So it means everybody must be subjected to the dictates of the rule of law. To commit some of the atrocities, knowing fully well that this is something that is outside the law, the permission of their office, or even against good conscience, but they will still perpetuate it knowing that they're going to get away with it, and nobody is actually going to hold them to account. And this is also borrowing from the trend that we can see how the judiciary is also turning things around in the country. Currently, our judiciary is not standing and also living up to the billings of being the last hope of the common man. Not just even the common man, even the rich are not in any way immune from miscarriage of justice, because now what you have, it is almost the case of the highest bidder. So even if you're rich and you're not rich enough, a richer person can get, judgment and not justice at the expense of the victims of either human rights abuses or other forms of sharp practices.
We'll take a break here, but still to come. Bank Workers Union asks CBN to clarify directive on collection of old naira notes. Details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. Protest has again erupted in Ogun State over the naira scarcity, with videos online showing two commercial banks set on fire in the Shagamu area of Ogun State on Monday morning. In a viral video, the irate youth set ablaze Union Bank and Keystone Bank. The protest attributed to the naira scarcity has begun in front of the palace of the Akaribo of Remo Land of Babatunde Ajayi, with some youths barricading roads and setting bonfire. We also told you that the Federal High Court in Lagos has barred the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from engaging the services of Musiliu Akisanya, popularly known as MC Oluomo, chairman of the Lagos Parks and Garages, for the distribution of election materials and ad hoc staff in the state. Over the past few days, there has been controversy over the decision of the INEC to work with the Lagos State Parks Management Committee to distribute election materials. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin, or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website at www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. on Facebook via TV360 online. With China's dropping of its zero COVID-19 policy, makeshift quarantine centers and testing booths have been repurposed as mini libraries, information points, or even housing. Some of the metal or plastic testing booths that were symbols of the zero COVID policy have found a new life as mini pharmacies, shelters, or information stations. The fate of the former quarantine centers and makeshift hospitals where COVID positive or sick people were once sent is more complex because of their size and cost. Some remain empty, but others have been converted into backup hospitals with additional equipment and staff to relieve the pressure on the healthcare system. We'll take a break now and be back with more stories and business. To stay with us.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places, the Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Let's now join Mary Kano for more stories and business. Over to you, Mary.
Many thanks, Folashade. Hello and welcome to Business News. The Association of Senior Staff of Banks, Insurance and Financial Institutions has urged the Central Bank of Nigeria to make clarifications on the deposit of ordinary notes. President of the association, Olusoji Oluwole, who made the call in an interview, called on the CBN to be clear on whether banks are to receive old notes to avoid problems. Oluwole added that in the event of an attack by the public without visible protection, members have been advised to shut down and relocate to safe locations until their safety is guaranteed. Still in business, President Muhammadu Buhari has met with Garma Wake, Ethiopian Airlines board chairman in Addis Ababa, where they exchanged views on the operationalization of Nigeria Air. Wake, who met with President Buhari on the margins of the 36th AU summit, said the airline has been treated very well in Nigeria since it started operations 60 years ago in the country, and requested a resolution of the legal obstacle halting Nigeria Air, which Ethiopian Airlines has 49% stake from commencing operations. He also said the airline and its partners are ready to commence operations on Nigeria Air as soon as all the court matters are resolved. We'll take a break and return with stock market review. It's the first trading day of the week and the Nigeria stock market closed positive as the bulls dominated proceedings, driving up the market. The all-share index appreciated by 0.78% to close at 54,224 basis points. Now, there is uncertainty surrounding the upcoming elections, and this is the primary reason for the stock market setback. As witnessed in the previous trading week, the NGX is likely to continue with mixed trading until there is more clarity on the outcome of the elections. We can see cautious trading also as market breadth closed negative despite the market's positive close. Now, the close of trading, Cornell and CWG topped the gainers chart, while market summary shows 154 million shares were traded in 3,095 deals. Over now to the global market, it's all positive trading for the FTSE, Dow Jones and Nikkei as investors are upbeat about the final week of banks' earnings season. That's all on Stock Market Report. For Lashadi, back to you for the rest of the news.
Many thanks, Mary, for that update. And on the foreign scene, U.S. President Joe Biden on Monday made a trip to Kyiv, organizing strict secrecy, promising $500 million in fresh arms deliveries and unwavering American support ahead of the first anniversary of Russia's invasion. Zelensky and Biden also discussed the possibility of supplying long-range weapons to Ukraine, a long-standing request from Kyiv that has been met with silence in Washington, where there is concern that they could be used to strike deep inside Russian territory. President Zelensky hailed the visit as a key sign of support and the promise of additional U.S. arms supplies, a signal that Russian attempts to win will have no chance. In sports, the body of footballer Christian Atsu, who died after an earthquake hit Turkey 2 weeks ago, has been returned to his native home, Ghana. The former Premier League player was found dead under his home in southern Turkey on Saturday. Club manager Fatih Ilek said Atsu had been scheduled to leave Turkey hours before the quake hit, but decided to stay after scoring an important goal for his team. The coffin was met by relatives, government officials and representatives of the Ghana Football Association and is due to be transported to a military hospital morgue. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.